Morning, students. Today we will be learning about transport and communication. So what do we understand by the word transport? Transport is the movement of goods and people from one place to another. It is known as transportation, and the means by which transportation is carried out is called the transport system. Now students, transport ideally is important for three categories. It has an economic importance, a political importance, and a social importance. So traditionally, we have seen that transport was in the form of walking. People would walk from one place to the other. It was then moved to palanquin, where it was like a carriage which was carried by people, two or three or four at the front and four at the back. Next, we've seen this palanquin being transformed into what we see today as a modern hand-pulled rickshaw. Apart from that, we have the bullock cart and your cycle rickshaws. These were your traditional means of transport. Some of them are still there. Now, there are different new and modern means of transport as well, and this is categorized into your land transport system, your water transport system, and air transport system. On the land, we have your road, railways, and pipelines. On the water, we have inland and overseas, and air is definitely your international airways and domestic airways. We will be studying all of them in greater depth. The first one is being your land transport. Now students, the oldest mode of transport is roadway. They are the backbone of our country. They can be categorized as national highway, state highways connecting roads, feeder roads, or even village roads. The importance of roadway are different types of roads can be built to connect difficult and inaccessible region. So a region which was not accessed before or was away from humans reaching there, roads have been connected in these places and people have been able to go there. They are beneficial for short distances. Building and maintaining cost is lower than any other modes, and different type of vehicles can be used. And road transport can be used anytime, right? Students, we don't have to depend like for railway or for flights. We are dependent on a scheduled time. But here it is up to us, or if you have a vehicle, you can use it. Now, there is a classification of road. We have the golden quadrilateral, the north, south, east, west corridor. Now, what is the golden quadrilateral? The four important metropolitan cities. So, students, what do you think are the four main important metropolitan cities? It is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. They have been interconnected by 6 lane national highway. It's a 6 lane national highway. This is called your golden quadrilateral. Students, this is just for GK purpose that you need to know that the length is 5,846 kilometers. This will not come in any questions. For your question answers, you need to know that the golden quadrilateral connects which four important metropolitan cities. The next is your north, south, and east, west corridors. These are the national highways, okay? The national highways that connect Srinagar in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Students, if you have done map pointing with me, you will remember that when we first did the chapter in class 9 as well as in 10, when we talk about India, we say that India stretches from Srinagar in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, and in the east, Arunachal Pradesh in the east to Gujarat in the west. So here we can see that the north-south is connecting Srinagar to Kanyakumari, which is via Salem and Kochi. It is known as the north-south corridor. Similarly, the national highway that connects Silchar, which is in Assam, to east, and Porbandar, which is in Gujarat, in the west. Alright, this is known as your east-west corridor. So this gives us the classification of the road. On this map, students, we can see the golden quadrilateral, which has been marked by red. We can see the north-south corridor, which is marked in blue, and we can see the east-west corridor, which is marked in lighter shade of blue. This is just for your reference so that you know how the road map has been connected from one place to the other. Next, moving on to another important mode of transport, that is railways. Railways are the second most important means of transport. The advantage of railways are faster than roads, and it saves a lot of time because there is no traffic. They connect distant places. They can carry huge amount of goods and huge number of passengers at a time. Students, if you have seen that a train not just carries us as in the people, but also carries a lot of goods. So there are goods train as well, right? And the number of passenger is not limited. Maybe in a bus, a number of passenger will be limited. But if you have a train, it has so many bogies, right? So the number of passengers are also more. Once established, the cost of maintenance is much less than maintaining your roads, and they help in manufacture, trade, and commerce, which increases the national income. So all these are beneficial for your rail transport. So let us look at the other characteristics of rail transport. This is the map. This is the Indian map which connects your railway lines, and the major railway stations are indicated and shown in this map for your reference. Now students, we come to the next important mode of transport, that is water transport. This mode of transport is through water bodies, example rivers, lakes, seas, oceans, etc. And it is called waterway because you're moving through water. It can be classified as inland waterway. Now what is inland waterway, students? That which is within the country. Example, rivers and lakes. For example, if you go to say Rishikesh, you will be going through, like if you take a river raft, you will be on Ganga. If you are going in this our Hooghly river, right? So this is inland, it is within your own country. Next is your international seaways, that which connects two or more countries across the sea or ocean. Now I'm sure all of you have heard of some cruise, right? So there are many cruises which leave, and you will be cruising through maybe Indian Ocean and going to Sri Lanka, or you may be cruising through the Arabian Sea and going to a different place like Mauritius. So when you are going on a cruise, it is an international mode of transport when you're traveling through the oceans and going across the sea to another country. Now India has many coastlines, right? It has numerous coastlines, so therefore it will have numerous ports. There are major ports on the eastern coast, that is Vizag, Chennai, Paradeep, etc. And there are major ports on the western Ghat as well. There is Mumbai, Kandla, Kochi, etc. Now students, when we were doing the physiographical division of India, as early as class 6 for y'all, when we did map pointing, we studied that the western coast is a straight coast, whereas the eastern coast is an inundated coast. Inundated means broken. And the explanation which was given to you all, that why it is broken, it is because a number of rivers have originated there, correct? And they are all east flowing rivers, and therefore they are inundated, and it has a number of ports over there as well. So when we talk about the features of the waterway, we can say that it is very cheap and has no cost of maintenance. Uh, Occasionally, we do need maintenance, especially if it is a cargo ship, and we can transport a huge volume of cargoes through waterways. They enable national and international trade, exchange of culture, and cordial relationship between various countries. And the waterway, that is ships, it causes minimum pollution. But I would also like to highlight over here, students, that we are saying here that it causes minimum pollution because we are not emitting any carbon dioxide, but many cargo ships or many ships that carry oil, and because of some mishap, the ship meets with an accident. There's a lot of oil spill that takes place. Now, this oil spill in the ocean creates a lot of disharmony, and the ecosystem, the water ecosystem, gets affected because of this. The wildlife, the sea life, gets affected because of oil spill. So that is one mishap, one disadvantage of transport system by water. Now, here we can see the major seaports which I have discussed with you. We can see both the Eastern Ghat and the Western Ghat, and the various ports which are available there. Next, coming to another mode of transport, that is airways. Now, students, what is the importance of airway? Airways are modern and sophisticated mode of transport. The advantages of airways are they are fastest mode of transport. They can connect far off land in spite of difficult terrain. That means it could be a mountain, it could be a desert. Even with the presence of ocean, it can make you reach your destination in a very short span of time. They help in international trade, commerce, exchange of culture, and maintaining cordial relationship among countries. Very similar of that of ship and waterway transport. Now, here are major airports of India. There are 449 airports in India, among which 12 are international airports. So, what are the international airports? We have Kolkata, that is your Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport. We have Guwahati, Amritsar, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Mumbai. We have Panaji, yes, Panaji. Then we have Bangalore. We have Hyderabad, Chennai, Kochi, Thiruvananthapuram. These are your 12 international airports. Apart from this, we have many domestic airports like Coimbatore, Mangalore, Nagpur, Pune, Jammu, Jaipur, Varanasi, Bhubaneswar, Patna, etc. It may also be mentioned here that the international airports are also used for domestic airlines. It's not just for international flights, it can also be used for domestic flights as well. Now, students, with this, we come to some different modes of transport which are not really used on a day-to-day basis. Some are, but not all of them. The one which I would like to talk about is ropeway. So, ropeways help connect people from one place to another, and these are used especially in hilly regions. The next is pipelines. Now, this transports liquid items like mineral oil from mine to factories, or from oil tanker ships to storage places, and can be easily done by pipeline, thus reducing wastage and risk. Students, I would like to make a note over here that many years back, I don't know if it is still used now or not, I too need to research, but we used to have gas not in cylinders but in pipelines. Okay, and even many foreign countries still date now, as present as now, they have gas coming in pipelines, and it is extremely easy and not as hazardous as your cylinders. Next, coming to your underground railway, we have your metro railways and tube railways under the ground, which helps to connect short distance easily. They are very fast and sophisticated. I'm sure all of you have traveled in the metro, and now with Calcutta developing, we have a metro line coming under the Ganga as well, correct? And the work is in progress. So let us hope and let us see that that mode of transport will also make life easier for us, and it's also a feather to Calcutta, because we are doing something which many people or many country have not yet been able to do it, or many city have not yet been able to do it. So let us hope for the best. And with this, we come to the transport section of the chapter, which we have completed. We next move to the other section, which is communication. Students, when we talk about communication, it basically ideally means two people talking, and I'm sure you all are very good at it. You all have communicated whether you all are in classroom or outside classroom. Now, with WhatsApp, with so many cell phones, you all are doing justice to this word called communication. Now, communication has many different kinds as well. There is your modern communication system. Communication refers to the process of getting in touch with people. So, we have your mobile phones. This is a wireless system of communication supported by satellite services. The cell phone is portable and easy to use. It can be used for calling, messaging, radio, television services, GPS. GPS full form is Global Positioning System. And recent modern cell phones are known as smartphones. I'm sure all of you possess. Today, because of the smartphone, students, we are able to do this online classes as well. And these smartphones have the capacity and capability of computer as well. So you are all using these smartphones. And like I mentioned, that today in this crisis situation, we are making the best use of these phones, and we are using it in the right platform, and we are not misusing this technology. Next is internet. This is a modern mode of communication which connects the whole world like a net through computer. It is very useful in searching information of any kind through websites. You can send letters, emails, you can contact people. There are so many social networking sites. It has extremely good educational and cultural um, input as well. You can, with a click of a mouse, you can search for any kind of medical treatment, you can search for any political issue. Internet has helped us to bring the world at our doorsteps. So you don't have to really depend on anyone. Everything is at the click of your fingers. But students, you must verify the source. Please do not blindly believe everything that is on the internet. Please read more than one sources so that it is so that the information that you're obtaining is confirmed and you know it is the best information and the right information. With this, we do come to an end of this chapter. The chapter was transport and communication. I hope all of you have enjoyed this lesson as much as I have enjoyed teaching you all. I will see you all next week with the last chapter of your year 10. And in case students have any doubts or queries, please feel free to message me on rima.sma@outlook.com. And if you have any feedback on the videos and PPTs, you may please write to us at feedback.stmichaelsacademy@gmail.com. Thank you so much, students.